We're working for you tonight after digging into reports of mail delays in Montana. And it turns out the Postal Union says our questions and pressure from our congressional delegation put orders to remove dozens of USPS collection boxes across Montana on hold. NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou has been on this from the very start and brings us up to speed.
Reports of mail delays piling up across the country.
The places like Montana and Wyoming and the very rural states are going to really suffer if they move forward with some of the plans that have been verbalized.
And now new trouble. Senator Jon Tester sounded an alarm Thursday evening. He sent a letter to newly appointed Postmaster General DeJoy demanding answers on reports of USPS collection boxes being removed. Early Friday morning, we confirmed through 2 union leaders directives to remove at least 68 drop boxes across the state, 18 in Missoula and 30 in Billings. A website that lists collection boxes shows that's at least 40% of Missoula's boxes and at least 50% of the ones in Billings. We reached out immediately for comment. A rep with the USPS wrote back, citing cost-saving measures and saying removing the boxes is simply good business sense. She goes on to say the USPS will relocate low-use boxes to high-traffic areas such as shopping centers, business parks, and grocery stores. Here's why that might not add up. Of the 18 boxes on the chopping block in Missoula, only one is in a quiet residential neighborhood. The rest in high traffic corridors. One is in front of Target, another across the street from the Missoula County Courthouse, and another right here in front of the main Missoula post office. After we reached out to the offices of Senator Steve Daines and Representative Greg Gianforte, they joined Senator Tester in writing a letter to DeJoy urging an investigation. This all comes in the midst of a battle in Washington over emergency funding for the Postal Service and continued new challenges, including new policies against overtime and hard deadlines for trucks to leave, even if there's still mail on the postal room floor.
Yes, of course, there's things we can do better. Yes, of course, there's places that we can improve efficiency and make cuts. But, you know, I don't believe that the service has to suffer, the service to our customers, to get that job done.
A goal that people in rural Montana want to see reached, so there's no worry about prescriptions, checks, and yes, mail-in ballots. Reporting in Missoula, I'm Maritsa Georgiou.
New tonight after we broke the story Friday of more than 60 drop boxes to be removed across Montana. The order to remove them was put on hold until after the election. Tonight, NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou is digging for more answers.
Newly leaked documents shed light on the density tests in Montana. Those are what USPS workers use to determine how much mail goes through each collection box. Now, the new documents show several collection boxes slated for removal don't meet the USPS guidelines to do so. This letter from a Montana postal carrier says they were never trained to do density tests. They say they were told to give a best guess on the number of mail items and not to count all mail, just the pieces with a tracking number. They say because of that, the count isn't accurate and included a sheet with the full counts on their route from last Friday. I put yellow circles next to the boxes on that list to be removed. 4 out of 5 of them had more than 25 pieces of mail that day. Remember that number, 25. Another union leader sent me a text message screen grab from an employee that empties 4 boxes outside a Maine, Montana post office. The message says they had never heard of a density test and emptied those for 4 years. One of those boxes was on the list of removals. And the leader also sent me the official rules on those tests. They say they need to be done for a 2-week period and use an actual count, not a best guess. The document also says boxes that get less than 25 pieces of mail a day should get a density test, and that boxes next to senior citizen housing, municipal and judicial buildings, and other public facilities are examples of boxes that can be left in place even with low mail counts. That description matches several boxes on our list. I reached out to 2 reps with the USPS who gave me statements Friday and didn't hear back by news time, but stay with us. There's a lot more to this story. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.
A new twist as we work for you, uncovering what's really going on at the U.S. Postal Service. And last week, we helped break the story about Montana collection boxes and sorting machines taken offline. And now we've got new photos to back up what sources are telling us. NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou gets us up to speed.
Yeah, we have newly leaked photos of dismantled USPS machines in Montana. A postal worker who wants to stay anonymous says this is a disassembled DBCS sorting machine in a Montana USPS plant. They say the stackers are waiting to be sent to other facilities. My source says this photo is a disassembled AFCS 100 in Missoula that is being discarded. It basically cancels stamps and faces mail. And they say they're supposed to get an upgrade, but it's unclear when. And they worry their remaining machine will go down before that comes. There have been mixed reports on whether these machines or any removed blue collection boxes will be put back. As far as those boxes, this isn't the first time they've been removed. I found this article from 2009 in the Washington Post, which said 200,000 boxes had been removed since 1989. It said they were underperforming and received fewer than 25 pieces of mail each day. That's what the USPS said about the latest round of planned removals. But remember on Monday when we showed you these Missoula documents questioning the density tests that determine how much mail goes through a box? A postal carrier said they were told not to count all the mail during a test and showed proof that several boxes did not meet the USPS threshold for removal. And scammers got to work quickly on this. The reason I found that Washington Post article is because a picture from it was ripped off for this Craigslist post in Bozeman, offering one of the recently removed Montana blue boxes up for $50, an extra 10 for delivery. So again, I reached out to reps with the USPS for comment on all of this and heard back Thursday afternoon saying they can't comment in light of the Postmaster General's testimony before Congress in the next week. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.
The story Friday. She has tonight's updates.
Yeah, we told you Friday about more than 60 USPS collection boxes slated for removal in Montana. And by the end of that day, word that would stop because of nationwide pressure. This video lit up social media Wednesday outside a Michigan post office where you can see what the reporter calls a graveyard of mail sorting pieces. This comes one day after Postmaster General Louis DeJoy issued a statement putting a stop to several new changes at the USPS until after the election, including removing machinery. Early Wednesday morning, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said DeJoy told her there were no plans to put the removed boxes or sorting machines back. And by Wednesday afternoon, Senator John Tester fired off another letter pushing for answers about reported machine removals in Billings, Missoula, and Great Falls. In a separate email, Tester's office says they confirmed through a USPS government affairs rep that at least 14 already removed boxes from Lewistown, Livingston, Manhattan, Helena, Glendive, Bozeman, and Shelby would be replaced. But that goes against other reports out Wednesday. And Governor Steve Bullock issued his own statement calling for, quote, an immediate reversal to the changes that have been detrimental to our access to mail services. Now, this story is far from over, and the only thing that's clear is that there's a lot of confusion over what's been taken and if it will be put back. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.
The first to tell you this afternoon that Governor Steve Bullock is suing the USPS and Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. And this comes after we broke the story in August about dozens of blue mail collection boxes slated for removal in Montana and showed you leaked photos of disassembled mail sorting machines in the Treasure State. NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou has been on the story from the beginning.
It appears Governor Steve Bullock is the first governor to attach his name to a suit against Postmaster General Louis DeJoy after several attorneys general filed lawsuits in August. Bullock's suit challenges changes made at the USPS, which he claims were designed to delay and obstruct mail delivery. The suit says DeJoy acted outside his authority, violated federal law, and didn't follow required procedures for making policy changes. Some of those changes include getting rid of overtime, enforcing hard deadlines that make trucks leave without all their mail, or carriers to return before their routes are finished. The suit names our NBC Montana reporting that showed leaked photos of disassembled sorting machines in Great Falls and Missoula. I had an exclusive one-on-one phone interview with Governor Bullock about this new suit.
These midnight actions that he's taken, be it cutting services by eliminating overtime or removing boxes, under federal law, there should have been at least 90 days of daylight on that before they could have even taken any of these steps. So my expectation is that what's been injured for our postal service that all Montanans rely on will be remedied and fixed.
The lawsuit lawsuit asks the court to declare DeJoy's policy changes unlawful, permanently stop the USPS from making more harmful changes, and immediately require the USPS to undo all those new changes. We have the full court documents at our website, NBCMontana.com. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.
New at 6 o'clock, we broke the news online, and now new information in a story we've covered since the beginning. The USPS agrees to reverse policy changes after a lawsuit filed by Governor Steve Bullock. NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou gets us up to speed.
Basically, this is a court-facilitated agreement specific to Montana in which the USPS agrees to reverse all major policies it's made since June. Governor Bullock filed suit against Postmaster General DeJoy last month, challenging changes made at the USPS, which he says were designed to delay and obstruct mail delivery. It specifically mentioned our reporting, which uncovered photos of disassembled USPS machines in Montana. Now, the USPS agrees to reverse changes like removing those sorting machines and collection boxes, reducing retail hours, and restricting overtime and late trips. It also requires the USPS to prioritize election mail. Now, multiple federal judges ordered the USPS to reverse changes last month, but this agreement is specific to Montana. You can see a statement from Governor Bullock on this and read that entire agreement at our website, NBCMontana.com. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.
Last month, we told you about a Montana State University political scientist looking into a possible partisan connection into USPS collection box removals. This came after we helped break the story of dozens of blue USPS collection boxes on the chopping block in Montana. NBC Montana's Maritsa Georgiou tells us what he found after analyzing more data.
We told you when the head of MSU's political science department, David Parker, looked for a partisan connection to 14 removed Montana mailboxes using the 2018 Senate race. He says in 13 out of 14 instances, the percentage of votes cast for Jon Tester was higher in the precincts with box removals than the county total. But he wanted to look at more factors and data, so we sent him results of a 2019 FOIA request from the USPS. It shows the difference in USPS collection boxes over the last 11 months. Parker analyzed the locations of more than 1,400 boxes with other variables like population density, population change, box density in the county, and boxes left standing. He had colleagues at MSU and Stanford check his work. He says it shows the higher the Democratic vote, the more likely the box gets removed. In Gallatin County, Parker says the probability of a box being removed increased more than sixfold as it moved from the county's most Republican precincts to the most Democratic.
Statistical processes help us look for associations. We have here an association between Democratic vote and removal of a box. The causal mechanism seems to be clear that box choice is being removed based upon the Democratic vote. But I want to make absolutely clear that if there's these other factors that I'm missing, I want people to let me know. Communicate that with me so I can run the models in different ways.
The USPS has been a hot-button political issue for weeks on the eve of an election that will largely be vote by mail in Montana unless the Trump campaign wins a lawsuit to stop it. As far as the boxes, the USPS says thousands were removed under the Obama administration. They responded to a letter from Senator Tester this week saying over the last 7 years, the agency has removed more than 21,000 collection boxes for efficiency reasons. And Parker wants that data too.
I want to be very clear. If I had found a relationship, if I had the data in front of me, and I found a relationship on the Obama administration where Republican precincts were getting boxes removed, that would alarm the heck out of me too. It's not fair regardless of who does it.
So I submitted a specific FOIA request for a list of mailboxes removed under the Obama administration and also documents on measures used to decide which boxes get removed. We'll keep following this and let you know what happens. Reporting in Missoula, Maritsa Georgiou, NBC Montana.